Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our lecture on medical devices in regulatory affairs, focusing on the US FDA framework. Today, we will explore how regulatory strategies ensure the safety and effectiveness of medical devices, enabling manufacturers to deliver innovative health solutions. Compliance with FDA regulations is critical for devices like bandages, healthcare apps, or MRI machines to meet public health needs. This lecture will cover definitions, key concepts, applications, methods, US-specific examples, best practices, and recommendations for success, aligning with course objectives to equip you with skills for navigating FDA regulatory processes. Ethical considerations, such as ensuring patient safety and transparent reporting, are vital for compliance and trust. By mastering these strategies, you'll develop regulatory pathways for safe medical device innovation. We begin with the lecture outline, providing a roadmap for our exploration. Following our introduction, let's review the lecture outline to guide our exploration of medical device regulations in the US. This lecture is structured to provide a comprehensive understanding, starting with an introduction to medical devices, defining their role in healthcare. We'll explore key regulatory concepts, including FDA classification and compliance requirements like establishment registration. Applications will demonstrate how regulations ensure device safety and market entry. Methods, such as medical device listing and pre-market notification, 510(k), will be paired with US-specific examples to illustrate implementation. Best practices, emphasizing ethical compliance, and recommendations, like stakeholder collaboration, will ensure regulatory success. A summary will consolidate key takeaways, preparing you to design effective regulatory strategies. This outline aligns with course objectives to develop skills for navigating FDA regulations, fostering innovation and safety. Ethical considerations, like transparent FDA communication, remains central. This slide transitions to the introduction, where we'll define medical devices' regulatory role. Building on our lecture outline, let's introduce medical devices in the context of US regulatory affairs. Medical devices, ranging from bandages to MRI machines, are instruments, apparatuses, or software intended for diagnosis, treatment, or prevention of disease, or to affect body function, without relying on chemical action or metabolism. The FDA's Center for Devices and Radiological Health, CDRH, regulates these devices to ensure safety and effectiveness, enabling manufacturers to market solutions like healthcare apps or knee replacements. Strategic regulatory approaches, such as establishment registration and pre-market notifications, ensure compliance while fostering innovation. For example, a new fitness tracking app must comply with FDA labeling requirements. Ethical considerations, including rigorous safety testing and accurate reporting, build public trust. This introduction aligns with course objectives to equip you with skills for navigating regulatory pathways, ensuring safe medical devices. This slide transitions to defining medical devices, where we'll clarify their purpose and scope. Following our introduction, let's define medical devices in the context of US regulatory affairs. A medical device is an instrument, apparatus, implant, or software intended for diagnosing, treating, or preventing disease, or affecting body function, without achieving its purpose through chemical action or metabolism, distinguishing it from drugs. Examples include bandages, ultrasound equipment, and healthcare apps. The FDA's CDRH regulates these devices, overseeing compliance through processes like establishment registration and pre-market reviews. For instance, a new diagnostic tool must be registered with the FDA. Ethical considerations include accurate classification to avoid mislabeling as drugs and transparent FDA submissions. This definition aligns with course objectives to foster understanding of medical devices as regulated tools for health innovation, enabling compliant market entry. This slide transitions to key regulatory concepts, where we'll explore foundational principles. Building on our definition, let's explore key regulatory concepts for medical devices in the U.S. Device classification categorizes devices into Class A, minimal risk, e.g., bandages, Class II, moderate risk, e.g., infusion pumps, and Class III, high risk, e.g., pacemakers, with increasing regulatory scrutiny. Establishment, registration and device listing require manufacturers and importers to register with the FDA and list their devices, ensuring traceability. The pre-market notification 510(k) process, primarily for Class II devices, demonstrates substantial equivalence to a legally marketed device to gain market clearance. For example, a new blood glucose monitor may require a 510(k) submission. Ethical considerations include accurate classification, transparent FDA reporting, and prioritizing patient safety. These concepts align with course objectives to develop regulatory skills for compliant medical device innovation. This slide transitions to device classification, where we'll delve into specific categories. Following key concepts, let's examine device classification in U.S. medical device regulation. Class I devices, 780, e.g., bandages, pose minimal risk, requiring general controls like registration and labeling. Most are exempt from pre-market notification, 510(k). Class II devices, 800, e.g., infusion pumps, pose moderate risk, requiring general and special controls, e.g., performance standards, and typically a 510(k) to demonstrate substantial equivalence to a predicate device. Class III devices, 120, e.g., pacemakers, pose high risk, requiring pre-market approval, PMA, with scientific evidence to ensure safety and effectiveness. For example, a new bandage may only need registration, while a cardiac implant requires PMA. Ethical considerations include accurate classification to avoid under or overregulation and transparent FDA communication. This classification aligns with course objectives by providing a framework for regulatory compliance, ensuring safe market entry. This slide transitions to establishment registration, where we'll explore compliance obligations. Following device classification, let's discuss establishment registration for U.S. medical device regulation. Manufacturers, domestic and foreign, and initial distributors, importers, must register their establishments with the FDA, ensuring oversight of device production and distribution. Registration is submitted electronically, unless a waiver is granted, and must be verified annually between October 1 and December 31. Foreign manufacturers must designate a U.S. agent to facilitate FDA communication. For example, a Canadian manufacturer of diagnostic kits must register and pay a fee, required since 2007. Ethical considerations include timely registration, accurate reporting, and ensuring compliance to protect patient safety. This process aligns with course objectives by enabling traceability and regulatory oversight, fostering compliant device innovation. By mastering registration, you'll ensure legal market entry. This slide transitions to medical device listing, where we'll explore device-specific requirements. Following establishment registration, let's explore medical device listing in U.S. regulation. Establishments required to register with the FDA must also list their devices, detailing the devices made and activities performed, e.g., manufacturing, repackaging. If a device requires pre-market submission, e.g., 510(k), the owner-operator must provide the submission number. For example, a company producing a new fitness tracker must list it with the FDA, including its 510(k) number if applicable. Ethical considerations include accurate listing to ensure traceability and avoiding misclassification to prevent regulatory violations. This process aligns with course objectives by ensuring devices are tracked and compliant, supporting safe market entry. By maintaining accurate listings, you'll facilitate FDA oversight and patient safety. This slide transitions to pre-market notification, where we'll explore the 510(k) process. Following device listing, let's examine the pre-market notification 510(k) process in U.S. medical device regulation. A 510K submission is required for most Class II devices, and some Class I3 to demonstrate substantial equivalence to a legally marketed predicate device, ensuring similar safety and effectiveness. The submission compares intended use and technological characteristics. If different, it must not raise new safety or effectiveness concerns. For example, a new infusion pump must show equivalence to an existing model. The FDA typically issues a substantial equivalence (SE) determination within 90 days, allowing market entry. Ethical considerations include truthful submissions, avoiding exaggerated claims, and ensuring patient safety data. The 510K process aligns with course objectives by enabling compliant market access for moderate-risk devices. By mastering 510K submissions, you'll facilitate efficient regulatory clearance. This slide transitions to applications in device regulation, where we'll explore practical uses. Following the 510K process, let's examine applications of regulatory strategies in U.S. medical device regulation. Regulations ensure safe diagnostic tools, like blood glucose monitors, by requiring 510K clearance to verify safety and effectiveness. They support health monitoring apps, such as fitness trackers, by enforcing accurate labeling and registration to protect users. Regulations protect patient safety across devices, from bandages, Class A, to pacemakers, Class III, by mandating compliance with classification-specific controls. For example, a new diagnostic app must be registered and listed to ensure traceability. Ethical considerations include prioritizing patient safety, ensuring equitable access to devices, and transparent compliance reporting. These applications align with course objectives by demonstrating how regulations enable safe, effective device innovation, enhancing public health. By applying these strategies, you'll ensure compliant, impactful devices. This slide transitions to diagnostic tools, where we'll delve into specific applications. Following applications, let's explore safe diagnostic tools as a regulatory application in U.S. medical device regulation. Diagnostic tools, like ultrasound equipment, often classified as Class II, require 510K clearance to demonstrate substantial equivalence, ensuring accurate diagnosis and patient safety. For example, a new ultrasound device must show equivalence to an existing model via 510K. Compliance with establishment registration and device listing ensures traceability, with manufacturers registering annually and listing devices with FDA. Ethical considerations include accurate performance data, transparent FDA submissions, and avoiding unverified claims. This application aligns with course objectives by showcasing how regulations ensure safe, effective diagnostic tools, fostering compliant innovation. By navigating these requirements, you'll support reliable diagnostics and public health. This slide transitions to health monitoring apps, where we'll explore digital applications. Following diagnostic tools, let's examine health monitoring apps as a regulatory application in U.S. medical device regulation. Health monitoring apps, like fitness or heart rate trackers, must be registered with the FDA and listed as devices to ensure oversight. They must meet labeling requirements, e.g., clear instructions and safety standards to protect users. Moderate-risk apps, classified as Class II, require 510K clearance to demonstrate equivalence to a predicate app. For example, a new heart rate app must show it's as safe as an existing one. Ethical considerations include protecting user data privacy, ensuring accurate health data, and transparent FDA reporting. This application aligns with course objectives by demonstrating how regulations support safe digital health tools, fostering innovation. By complying with these requirements, you'll ensure safe, accessible health apps. This slide transitions to patient safety, where we'll explore broader regulatory impacts. Following health monitoring apps, let's explore protecting patient safety as a regulatory application in U.S. medical device regulation. Regulations enforce safety across all device classes, from Class A, e.g., bandages requiring general controls, to Class II, e.g., infusion pumps needing 510(k) clearance. Compliance with FDA controls, like registration, listing, and pre-market reviews, ensures devices meet safety and effectiveness standards. For example, a Class II device must pass 510(k) to confirm it poses no undue risk. Transparent regulatory reporting, such as accurate 510(k) submissions, builds trust and ensures accountability. Ethical considerations include prioritizing patient safety, avoiding unverified claims, and ensuring equitable device access. This application aligns with course objectives by showcasing how regulations protect public health, fostering compliant innovation. By prioritizing safety, you'll enhance device reliability and trust. This slide transitions to regulatory methods, where we'll explore practical strategies. Following applications, let's discuss methods for regulatory compliance in U.S. medical device regulation. Completing establishment registration involves manufacturers and importers registering with the FDA electronically, verifying annually, and foreign entities designating a U.S. agent. Submitting accurate device listings requires listing all devices and activities, including pre-market submission numbers, e.g., 510(k). Preparing effective 510(k) submissions involves demonstrating substantial equivalence for Class II devices, with clear data on intended use and technology. For example, a new diagnostic tool's 510(k) must compare it to a predicate device. Ethical considerations include truthful submissions, timely registration, and ensuring compliance to protect patients. These methods align with course objectives by equipping you to navigate FDA requirements, ensuring compliant market entry. By mastering these strategies, you'll ensure regulatory success and patient safety. This slide transitions to establishment registration, where we'll delve into the process. Following regulatory methods, let's explore the establishment registration process in U.S. medical device regulation. Manufacturers, domestic and foreign, and importers must register their establishments with the FDA, typically electronically, unless a waiver is granted. Registration must be verified annually between October 1st and December 31st, and foreign manufacturers must designate a U.S. agent for FDA communication. For example, a U.S. bandage manufacturer registers to ensure oversight. Since 2007, most establishments pay a registration fee. Ethical considerations include timely and accurate registration to avoid delays and ensure patient safety through traceability. This process aligns with course objectives by enabling regulatory compliance, fostering accountable innovation. By completing registration correctly, you'll ensure legal market entry. This slide transitions to device listing, where we'll explore listing requirements. Following establishment registration, let's discuss the device listing process in U.S. medical device regulation. Establishments required to register must list all devices they manufacture, repackage, or import, detailing activities performed. If a device requires a pre-market submission, e.g., 510(k), the listing must include the submission number. For example, a company listing a new infusion pump includes its 510(k) number. Accurate and timely updates ensure FDA traceability and compliance. Ethical considerations include complete and truthful listings to avoid misclassification and ensure patient safety. This process aligns with course objectives by ensuring devices are tracked, supporting regulatory oversight and safe market entry. By maintaining accurate listings, you'll facilitate compliance and accountability. This slide transitions to 510(k) submissions, where we'll explore the clearance process. Following device listing, let's explore the 510(k) submission process in U.S. medical device regulation. A 510(k) submission, required for most Class II devices, demonstrates substantial equivalence to a legally marketed predicate device by comparing intended use and technological characteristics. If characteristics differ, the submission must show no new safety or effectiveness concerns. For example, A new heart rate monitor submits data comparing it to an existing model. The FDA reviews submissions within 90 days, issuing a substantial equivalence (SE) determination for market clearance. Ethical considerations include truthful data, avoiding exaggerated claims, and ensuring patient safety. This process aligns with course objectives by enabling compliant market access for moderate-risk devices. By mastering 510(k) submissions, you'll secure efficient FDA clearance. This slide transitions to U.S. regulatory examples, where we'll explore specific cases. Following the 510(k) process, let's explore a U.S. regulatory example. A blood glucose monitor. This Class II device requires a 510(k) submission to demonstrate substantial equivalence to a predicate monitor, ensuring safe and effective diagnosis. The manufacturer registers their establishment with the FDA, verifies annually, and lists the device, including its 510(k) number. For example, a new monitor submission compares its accuracy and safety to an existing model, achieving clearance within 90 days. Outcomes include reliable diabetes management and market compliance. Ethical considerations include accurate data submission, transparent listing, and prioritizing patient safety. This example aligns with course objectives by demonstrating how regulatory processes ensure safe diagnostic tools, fostering compliant innovation. By studying this case, you'll learn to navigate FDA requirements effectively. This slide transitions to another U.S. example, where we'll explore a health app. Following the diagnostic tool, let's examine another U.S. regulatory example, a health monitoring app. This nonprofit-developed app, offering fitness tracking, requires establishment registration and device listing with the FDA to ensure oversight. If classified as Class II due to moderate risk features, e.g., heart rate monitoring, a 510(k) submission demonstrates equivalence to a predicate app. For example, the app submission includes data on accuracy, achieving clearance for market entry. Outcomes include safe user monitoring and regulatory compliance. Ethical considerations include protecting user data privacy, ensuring accurate health outputs, and transparent FDA reporting. This example aligns with course objectives by showcasing how regulations support safe digital health tools, driving compliant innovation. By studying this case, you'll learn to navigate regulations for digital devices. This slide transitions to a third U.S. example, where we'll explore a Class I device. Following the health app, let's explore a third U.S. regulatory example, a bandage. This Class I device, posing minimal risk, requires establishment registration and device listing with the FDA but is typically exempt from 510(k) requirements under 21 CFR Parts 860-892. For example, a manufacturer registers annually and lists a new adhesive bandage, ensuring compliance with general controls like labeling. Outcomes include safe wound care and market access. Ethical considerations include accurate listing, compliant labeling, and ensuring product safety. This example aligns with course objectives by demonstrating how regulations ensure compliance for low-risk devices, fostering efficient market entry. By studying this case, you'll learn to navigate requirements for minimal-risk devices. This slide transitions to best practices, where we'll explore strategies for effective compliance. Following U.S. examples, let's discuss best practices and regulatory compliance for U.S. medical device regulation. Ensuring accurate FDA submissions involves providing truthful, complete data in 510(k) submissions or device listings, like a manufacturer detailing the device's intended use. Maintaining timely registration and listing requires annual verification and accurate device updates to ensure FDA traceability. Aligning with safety and effectiveness goals means prioritizing patient safety in all regulatory processes, such as verifying a device's performance before market entry. For example, a diagnostic tool manufacturer ensures 510(k) data reflects true performance. Ethical considerations include avoiding misleading claims, ensuring transparent reporting, and prioritizing patient safety. These practices align with course objectives by fostering ethical, effective compliance that supports safe device innovation. By adopting these strategies, you'll build trust and regulatory success. This slide transitions to recommendations for success, where we'll provide actionable strategies. Following best practices, let's provide recommendations for regulatory success in U.S. medical device regulation. Building strong FDA relationships involves regular communication, like consulting the FDA during 510(k) preparation, to ensure clarity and compliance. Streamlining submission processes means using electronic systems for registration and listing, and preparing clear 510(k) submissions with organized data. Leveraging regulatory expertise involves consulting specialists or software to navigate FDA requirements, like ensuring compliance with 21 CFR regulations. For example, a manufacturer hires a consultant to streamline a 510(k) submission. Ethical considerations include transparent FDA interactions, accurate data, and prioritizing patient safety. These recommendations align with course objectives by promoting efficient, compliant regulatory strategies, ensuring market success. By implementing these approaches, you'll navigate FDA processes effectively. This slide transitions to ways to succeed, where we'll explore additional success strategies. Following recommendations, let's explore additional ways to succeed in U.S. medical device regulation. Preparing thorough, accurate submissions involves detailed 510(k) applications with clear comparisons to predicate devices, ensuring no safety concerns. Using data to support equivalence means providing robust performance data, like a heart rate monitor's accuracy metrics, to secure FDA clearance. Collaborating with regulatory bodies, like engaging FDA's CDRH early, clarifies requirements and avoids delays. For example, a manufacturer consults the FDA before submitting a 510(k). Ethical considerations include truthful data, respecting regulatory guidelines, and ensuring patient safety. These strategies align with course objectives by fostering effective compliance, maximizing regulatory success. By leveraging data and collaboration, you'll enhance compliance outcomes and market entry. This slide transitions to ethical considerations, where we'll explore maintaining integrity. Following success strategies, let's discuss ethical considerations in U.S. medical device regulation. Ensuring transparent FDA reporting involves submitting accurate data in 510(k) submissions, registrations, and listings, like a manufacturer detailing a device's true performance. Prioritizing patient safety means designing devices and processes to minimize risks, such as rigorous testing for a diagnostic tool. Avoiding misleading device claims prevents exaggerating effectiveness, like claiming unverified benefits for a health app. Ethical considerations also include respecting user data privacy and ensuring equitable device access. These principles align with course objectives by fostering responsible regulation that builds credibility and protects public health. By prioritizing ethics, you'll create trustworthy devices that ensure safety and compliance. This slide transitions to evaluating regulatory success, where we'll explore assessing outcomes. Following ethical considerations, let's explore evaluating regulatory success in U.S. medical device regulation. Measuring FDA clearance rates involves tracking successful 510(k) submissions or registration approvals, like a 90-day clearance for a Class II device. Assessing compliance and safety outcomes evaluates whether devices meet FDA standards and perform safely, such as monitoring a bandage's market performance. Refining strategies based on feedback involves using FDA comments or post-market data to improve submissions, like revising a 510(k) based on FDA input. Ethical considerations include transparent reporting of outcomes, avoiding inflated claims, and ensuring inclusive feedback processes. Evaluating success aligns with course objectives by ensuring data-driven compliance, optimizing regulatory outcomes. By measuring and refining strategies, you'll enhance compliance and device safety. This slide transitions to regulatory challenges, where we'll explore potential obstacles. Following evaluation, let's discuss challenges in U.S. medical device regulation. Navigating complex FDA requirements, like 510(k) or registration rules, requires expertise to avoid errors. Ensuring timely submissions, such as annual registration or 90-day 510(k) reviews, is challenging due to tight deadlines. Managing high-risk device approvals, like Class III PMAs, demands extensive data and resources, unlike simpler Class I registrations. For example, a pacemaker's PMA process is resource-intensive. Ethical considerations include avoiding shortcuts, ensuring accurate data, and prioritizing patient safety. These challenges align with course objectives by encouraging creative, ethical solutions for compliance, fostering resilience. By addressing these obstacles, you'll develop strategies for successful regulation. This slide transitions to overcoming challenges, where we'll provide solutions. Following challenges, let's explore solutions for overcoming regulatory challenges in U.S. medical device regulation. Using expert regulatory consultants helps navigate complex FDA requirements, like ensuring a 510(k) meets equivalent standards. Streamlining submission processes involves electronic tools for registration and listing, reducing errors and delays. Engaging FDA early, such as through pre-submission meetings, clarifies requirements for 510(k) or high-risk device approvals. For example, a manufacturer consults the FDA before a 510(k) submission. Ethical considerations include transparent communication, accurate data, and prioritizing patient safety. These solutions align with course objectives by fostering resilient, compliant regulatory strategies, ensuring market success. By implementing these approaches, you'll overcome regulatory hurdles and enhance compliance. This slide transitions to the summary, where we'll consolidate key points. As we conclude our lecture on medical devices in regulatory affairs, let's summarize key points. Regulatory strategies ensure safe, effective devices, like bandages, health apps, and diagnostic tools, through FDA processes like classification, registration, listing, and 510(k) submissions. Strategic approaches, such as accurate 510(k) submissions and timely registration, ensure compliance, while ethical practices, like transparent reporting and patient safety, build trust. U.S. examples, including blood glucose monitors, health apps, and bandages, illustrate practical applications, showing how regulations enable safe market entry. Best practices, like accurate submissions, and recommendations, such as FDA collaboration, overcome challenges like complex requirements and tight deadlines. These align with course objectives to equip you with skills for designing ethical, effective regulatory strategies, enhancing public health through compliant innovation in the U.S. By mastering these principles, you'll create safe, impactful devices. Thank you for your engagement. Following our summary, this slide provides references for U.S. medical device regulation. Overview of device regulation. FDA 2023 offers insights into FDA processes, including registration and 510(k) requirements. Classify your medical device. FDA 2023 details classification criteria for Class I, II, and III devices, guiding compliance. Pre-market notification 510(k). FDA 2023 explains the 510(k) process for demonstrating substantial equivalence. These sources provide a strong foundation for navigating FDA regulations, aligning with course objectives to foster compliant device innovation.